in a way, you think about American empire, maybe the way to think about it, or any kind of empire, is not as, maybe this is how I would put it. It's not, it's perhaps misleading to think about it. How does it get incorporated into the state or the United States? But it's actually a whole constellation of enterprises and interests that are leveraging that power in some way to produce this kind of imperial regime under a variety of what you might think of as a kind of plurality of jurisdictional forms. And you think about that whole big umbrella.
Yeah, it's
as
more
what's
like the
making this
post
empire.
1857 British Empire in India than the pre 1857. So it's not one company. For example, you're saying it's the
Well,
plurality of organizations in a way that are benefiting still from the the empire existing and the empire being in control, formally or informally. But there's a plurality of corporations that are then benefiting.
I think the pre-1857 British Empire in India also was not just the East India Company. But if you think about, say, the early railway companies I was just talking about before, there are also other corporations inside. And that's what I was talking about earlier when we first started off, about how companies are not single entities. And then if you then telescope out and don't think of the British Empire as just the East India Company, but you think about the whole constellation of the hundreds of companies that I talk about in the book, actually early 19th, 18th, 17th century empire also looks a little like this, where the quote unquote British Empire, there's, say, people from Britain exerting claims over places around the world, is not just the British states. In fact, that's a very small part of it, but it's this whole constellation of different entities, which I think you can think of as at war with each other and in conflict with each other, but you can also think of as working together in some kind of, in the book, and I don't know how people will make of the metaphor, I still myself debate it, but in the book, I think I talk about it as a kind of chaos theory, where there's all of these different things that are moving around, but you can see patterns in
That's
those.
right. I think
uncoordinated,
you said, but definitely not unintentional.
That is thank you. That I did say that, didn't I? But that's what I mean, right? It's not working like a concert where it's all being conducted centrally, but it is somehow making a unity, even though it's and that's the right way. That's my long-winded answer to your excellent question.
We write better than we. That's right. No, I think that's absolutely right. I think that's a great characterization of the US Empire. I think capturing the nuances of it also